The 2013 Boxing Awards, as voted for by you, the public, the people who count most. I've tallied up all your votes, and these are the results for the 8 categories. Prospect of the Year, you guys have given it to Keith One-Time Thurman. That's right, he received more votes for Prospect of the Year than anyone else. You guys were obviously impressed by his wins, his knockout wins over Diego Chavez and Jesus Soto Carras, as was I, because I also voted for Keith Thurman as Prospect of the Year. And I will give my revised list later on in this video. So yeah, Trainer of the Year award goes to Robert Garcia. I guess you guys especially liked his work with Marcos Maidana. So I believe the guy who received the second highest number of votes was Yoel Diaz, I believe, Tim Bradley's trainer. But Trainer of the Year went to Robert Garcia, as voted for by you guys. Round of the Year, this wasn't even close, really. So many of you voted for this one. Round of the Year, you guys have given it to Carl Froch versus George Groves, round 1. Yeah, you guys decided that was the round of the year. Upset of the Year, you guys are in agreement with me. Marcos Maidana's unanimous decision win over Adrian Broner. That's your upset of the year, same as mine. Knockout of the Year, this again was by far, got by far the most votes for Knockout of the Year, and it was Adonis Stevenson's first round KO of Chad Dawson. You guys have voted that as a Knockout of the Year. Fight of the Year was, again, this was even more lopsided. There was hardly anyone else voted for anything else other than Tim Bradley beating Ruslan Provodnikov on points. That was pretty much unanimously 90% of people's Fight of the Year who voted. So yeah, Tim Bradley's win over Provodnikov was Fight of the Year. Performance of the Year was the same as mine again. Guillermo Rigondeaux's masterclass performance in beating Nonito Donaire with a unanimous decision. And the Fighter of the Year, you guys have decided it is Adonis Stevenson. That's right. Adonis Stevenson's had how many fights this year? I believe three or four fights this year. Won all of them by knockout. You guys were mightily impressed with that. You enjoyed the way he came from relative obscurity to becoming one of the premier fighters in the sport today. So yeah, Adonis Superman Stevenson wins the Fighter of the Year, as voted for by you, the public. Now, as promised, I'm going to give you my revised list right now. It's pretty similar to your list. There is a few differences. My Prospect of the Year was Keith Thurman, same as you guys voted for. My Trainer of the Year was actually Yoel Diaz, though. I voted for Tim Bradley's trainer rather than Robert Garcia. Round of the Year, I picked Barker versus Stern, round 6. A couple other people did also vote for that. Right, a couple other people, but most people voted for Froch Groves round 1. But I voted for Barker Stern round 6. That was my pick. Upset of the Year, again, same as you guys, Maidana Broner. KO of the Year, I actually preferred Matisse's KO over Peterson. That was my KO of the year, was Matisse knocking out Peterson rather than Stevenson knocking out Dawson, because I wasn't so shocked about what happened in the Stevenson-Dawson fight. I thought there was a very, very good chance that Stevenson was going to knock Dawson out and knock him out early, because of the fact that I'd been following Stevenson's career very closely. I knew he was a tremendous puncher. I knew that he had the mentality of a puncher and that he wouldn't be afraid to let his hands go. And I knew Dawson was coming off a knockout loss. And not only was he coming off a knockout loss, he was knocked out by, obviously, or he was stopped by Andre Ward. And 2 weeks before the Ward fight, he was knocked out in sparring by Edison Miranda. So I wasn't confident at all in Chad Dawson's chin. So, when Stevenson knocked him out the way he did, I wasn't really that surprised. I thought that was a danger, that was something that could happen, especially in the lead up to the Dawson-Stevenson fight. Dawson seemed very complacent. He was saying, I don't even really know who Stevenson is. He's just some bum, this, that, and the other. He seemed so nonchalant and truculent about the whole situation. So to me, there was a recipe for disaster there. So I wasn't particularly surprised by that. I was more impressed with Matisse's KO over Peterson, because Peterson's a solid fighter. Yes, Peterson's been down before, but he was a real solid fighter. And the way that Matisse just went at him was just impressive to me. Left hands, right hands. You know, I think there was like 2-3 knockdowns in the fight. It was the closest thing I've seen for years to a young Mike Tyson. You know, I just love that knockout, man. I love that performance by Peterson. That was my KO of the year. My fight of the year was the same as most of you guys, was Tim Bradley against Ruslan Provodnikov. And you know my performance of the year and fighter of the year are both the same, and that was Guillermo Rigondeaux's unanimous decision over Nonito Donaire, and he's obviously my fighter of the year personally. So yeah, that is the 2013 Boxing Awards. Let the discussion begin below. You guys have voted, so you know it is what it is. It's interesting, very, very interesting looking at some of you guys' you know, picks. In fact, let me go to the video right now. Let me go to the video right now and just look and just pick out some honorable mentions. Let me go to the comment section of that video right as we speak. Yeah, so bear with me as I click a few buttons right here and go to the comment section of that video and pick out some honorable mentions. It's pretty unprofessional. I should have done it before the video started, but it is what it is. You know, festive period and all that. I'm not exactly my sharpest. So yeah, let's go here in the comment section. Scroll down to the bottom. For fighter of the year and also for performance of the year, there is quite a few people who picked Danny Garcia's win over Lucas Matisse's performance of the year, and there was quite a few people that picked Danny Garcia as fighter of the year as well. I think that deserves an honorable mention. Honorable mention for prospect of the year is a guy who I'm embarrassed to say I've not even watched yet, and that is Lomachenko. I ain't even seen the guy fight yet. That's pretty embarrassing, because the amount of people that's been talking about him, really and truly, I should have seen this guy fight by now. But unfortunately, I haven't. Couple people picked Joe Gallagher as their trainer of the year. Callum Smith as the prospect of the year. What else was there here? Let me see. That about sums it up. Yeah, a couple people picked Anthony Joshua as well. Anthony Joshua as prospect of the year. One person picked Deontay Wilder as prospect of the year. Who else? Who else is here? One person picked Gary Russell Jr. as prospect of the year. Gonzalez Mares was, a couple people picked that for upset of the year. What else we got here? Angel Garcia as trainer of the year. Someone picked that. That's interesting. A couple people actually went for Angel Garcia as prospect of the as trainer of the year. I think that deserves an honorable mention as well. Angel Garcia. He did a good job with Danny. You know, he did a good job with Danny, especially in the Matisse fight. He did a real good job. Who else is here now? Any more honorable mentions, or is that it? Where we at? Tim Bradley as fighter of the year. A few people picked that, if I ain't mentioned that already. A few people went with Tim Bradley. It was a good year for Tim. You know, I mean, the Provodnikov fight was hard, but then he kind of redeemed himself with the Marquez performance, and not a lot of people thought he could beat Marquez for some reason. Me personally, I always felt that Tim Bradley had the beating of Marquez. I wasn't sure about Bradley's chin after the Provodnikov fight because he had suffered neurological problems, but I always knew style-wise he had the style to beat Marquez. But anyway, yeah, that's about it, man. Picked out my honorable mentions. There you go. 2013 Boxing Awards. Big up everyone who voted. Thanks for watching. And we look forward to the new year in boxing, and hopefully some good matchups will get made. I'm still going to do a few more videos this week. Going to talk about Floyd possibly fighting Conor Maidana. Going to talk about... what else is there to talk about? I'd like Floyd to fight Erislandy Lara personally, but I'm going to talk about him, you know, possibly fighting Conor Maidana. David Price has got a new trainer already, has already split up with Adam Booth. There's a few things to talk about, so I will be making some videos. I'll probably do a few more fantasy matchup videos as well. So if you have any suggestions for fantasy matchups, please drop your comments in the comment section below and let me know what fantasy matchups you'd like me to do a video on, or videos on. So yeah, drop your comments below. This is Hatman, I'm out.